Hello, everyone. Welcome to Daily Listening English. Today's lesson is about to begin. Let's learn, listen, and speak English together.
I didn't go there to eat. I didn't go there to work. I went there to talk to foreigners. I would walk up to them and say, "Hello, my name's Jack. Can I be your guide today?" For free. Yes, for free. I didn't earn any money. My family didn't understand. My classmates laughed at me. They thought I was wasting my time. But I kept going. Not for a few days, not for a few months. I did it for almost 9 years. Rain or shine. And something interesting happened. The foreigners didn't laugh at me. They talked to me. They listened. Sometimes they corrected my English. Without knowing it, they became my teachers. One day, one of them said, "Your name is difficult for me. Can I call you Jack?" I said, "Okay." And that name stayed with me. Now let me ask you a simple question. Why did I do that? Why would a young boy ride so far every morning just to talk to strangers? Because I understood something very early. English is not just a language. It is a door. At that time, I didn't know what was behind that door. But I knew it was bigger than my small world. And I wanted to open it. That is what I want you to understand today. Learning English is not just about words. It is about opportunities. It is about seeing a bigger world. And the good news is, you can start the same way, simple, one sentence at a time. Many people study English for many years. They learn grammar, they memorize words, and they read books. Some of them even pass exams. But when a foreigner asks them a simple question like, "Excuse me, where is the train station?" they cannot answer. Their mind goes blank. They know the words, but they cannot say anything. Does this sound familiar? This is not because you are not smart, and it is not because English is too difficult. The real problem is simple. You trained your brain, but you did not train your mouth. Let me explain it in an easy way. Imagine you want to learn piano. You study music, you understand the theory, and you watch many videos, but you never touch the piano. What will happen when you try to play? Your hands will not move. You don't know where to put your fingers. Speaking English is the same. You may know many words in your head, but your mouth is not ready. Your tongue is not used to the sounds. Your breathing is not natural. These things need practice too. And this is where most people fail. They spend time reading, writing, and listening, but they do not practice speaking. Reading is not speaking. Writing is not speaking. Listening is not speaking. Speaking is different. It happens in real time. You don't have time to think too much. Someone is waiting for your answer. That is why it feels difficult. That is why many people feel nervous. But this is also why speaking is so important. If you want to speak English well, you must practice speaking. Not sometimes, but every day. Even a little is enough, but you must use your mouth. Because in the end, language is not only in your brain, it must come out. I want to talk about something very simple, but very important. Many English teachers do not say this clearly. The biggest problem is not pronunciation. It is not grammar. It is not vocabulary. The biggest problem is fear. And I understand this fear because I had it too. In many cultures, children are taught from a young age not to make mistakes in front of others. If you don't know something, it is better to stay quiet. This teaches respect, and in many situations, it is a good thing. But when you learn a language, this idea can hold you back because learning a language is different. You need to make mistakes. You need to try, even when you are not ready. You cannot stay silent and improve at the same time. It doesn't work that way. When I was young in Hangzhou, I practiced English with tourists every morning. I made many mistakes. I said things the wrong way. I used the wrong grammar Sometimes people look confused. One time, I tried to say something simple, but the person didn't understand me at all. In that moment, I felt very embarrassed. I wanted to stop, but I didn't stop. I came back the next day, and the next day, because I made a simple decision. I told myself, it's okay to feel embarrassed now. Later, I will be better. That decision helped me continue, and slowly, step by step, I improved. Let me tell you about someone. I want you to picture her clearly. Her name is Rose. She's 26 years old. She grew up in a normal city, studied hard, and did well in school. Her English is not bad. She can read articles. She can write emails. But when it comes to speaking, everything changes. In meetings, she stays quiet. When she has a video call with international colleagues, her microphone is always off. When her manager asks for her opinion, her heart starts beating fast. She knows the answer. She has the idea in her mind. But when it is time to speak, she freezes. She starts a sentence, then stops. She smiles nervously and says, "Sorry, my English is not very good." And then she becomes silent again. After the meeting, she thinks about it again and again. She tells herself, "I knew the answer. I could have said it." But the moment is gone. And slowly, something more dangerous happens. She starts to believe a story. She tells herself, "My English is not good enough. Maybe I am not good at speaking. Maybe I will speak later when I am more ready." But here's the problem. That moment never comes, because if you only prepare but never practice, you are not improving. You are just waiting. I have seen many people like Rose. They're smart. They understand a lot. They have good ideas, but they don't speak. And when you don't speak, silence becomes a habit. And habits are not easy to change. So let me tell you something simple. The English you have right now is enough to start. Not perfect, but enough. You don't need better English to begin. You need to begin to get better English. That is the difference. So don't wait. Speak with what you have. That is how everything starts. I applied to Harvard 10 times, and 10 times they said no. After I finished university, I applied for many jobs, and I was rejected again and again. When KFC came to my city, many people applied, but I was the only one not chosen. I also tried to join the police, but I failed there too. Why am I telling you this? Because today, when people see me, they see confidence. They see someone who can speak in front of many people, sometimes even in English, without fear. They think I was always like this, but that is not true. At that time, I also felt confused. I asked myself, why do I keep failing? Sometimes I felt tired. Sometimes I felt I was not good enough, but I did not stop. Because slowly, I understood something important. Rejection is not the end. Rejection is feedback. It shows you what you need to improve. It shows you where you are still weak. And this is the same when you learn English. When you speak and make a mistake, it is not failure. It is a signal. It is your mind telling you you need more practice here. People who speak English well are not perfect. They're not people who never make mistakes. They're people who keep speaking, keep learning, and keep trying the next day again. So do not be afraid of mistakes. Use them, learn from them, and move forward, step by step. Here is something very important I want you to understand. Your mouth is a muscle. This is not just an idea. It is real. Your tongue, your lips, your jaw, they are all muscles, just like your arms or your legs. And like any muscle, they get better with practice. When you speak English, you are not only thinking about words, you are also moving your mouth in new ways. Some sounds are very different from your native language. Your tongue may need to touch your teeth in a new position. Your lips may need to change shape in a way that feels strange at first. That is why many people say, I understand English, but I can't speak. Understanding is only in your brain, but speaking is both your brain and your body. You may know the words, but your mouth is not trained yet. So what should you do? The answer is simple. You need to speak more, not just listen, not just read. You need to open your mouth and make sounds every day. You can speak when you are alone. You can speak in your room, in the shower, or while you are walking. It does not matter if it is perfect. What matters is that you practice. If you do a little every day, your mouth will slowly get used to English sounds. And one day, speaking will feel easier and more natural. I want to tell you about another person. Let's call him Daniel. Daniel was 22 years old, and he had just started his first real job. He worked in a company where some people spoke English, and once a month, they had an online meeting with a team from another country. Those meetings were always in English. At first, Daniel thought it would be okay. He could understand many things, maybe not everything, but enough to follow the conversation. Around 60%, but when it was his turn to speak, everything changed. His mind suddenly went blank. He knew what he wanted to say, but he could not say it. The sentence stopped in the middle. He looked at the screen and saw everyone waiting. No one spoke. They were waiting for him, and the longer he stayed silent, the harder it became to speak. So he said a few words, then stopped, and the moment passed. This happened again and again and again. After 3 meetings, Daniel felt very frustrated. He didn't feel stupid. He knew he could understand, but he could not express himself. And maybe you have felt the same. You understand English, but when you speak, nothing comes out. After the 3rd meeting, Daniel made a simple decision. He said, I will fix this problem myself. He didn't have money for a teacher. He didn't have time to go to a class. So he chose something simple that he could do every day. Every morning, he took his phone, he pressed record, and he spoke for 5 minutes. He didn't prepare. He didn't write anything. He just spoke. Sometimes he talked about his day, sometimes about the weather, sometimes about his work, sometimes about what he was worried about. He spoke like he was talking to a friend, but the friend was just his phone. In the beginning, it felt uncomfortable. When he listened to his voice, he didn't like it. He stopped many times. He used the same simple words again and again. He said, too often. Sometimes he didn't finish his sentence. It was not good, but he did not stop. He listened carefully, not to judge himself, but to understand what was happening. He started to notice small things. Where he stopped, which words he didn't know, which sentences were too difficult. And the next day, he tried again. After about 3 weeks, something changed. Not a big change, but a small one. He didn't stop as much. His sentences became a little smoother. He still made mistakes, but they were different mistakes. And this is very important. When your mistakes change, it means you are improving. After 6 weeks, Daniel had another international meeting. He still felt nervous. His heart was beating fast. But this time, something was different. When his manager asked him, Daniel, what do you think about this? He didn't stay silent. He took a breath and he answered, not perfectly. He paused a little. He made some mistakes, but he spoke a full idea, a clear thought, and people understood him. After the meeting, one of his colleagues sent him a message. Good point today, just 3 words. But for Daniel, it meant everything. He read that message many times because for the first time, he felt it. I can do this. What Daniel learned is something very simple but very powerful. If you want to speak better, you need to hear yourself speak. Because when you listen to yourself, you don't imagine your problem. You see it clearly. You hear where you stop. You hear which words you repeat too much. You hear where your sentence breaks. Many people only learn in their heads. They read, they listen, they think, but they don't speak. And because they don't speak, they don't improve. Speaking is a physical skill. Like playing a sport, you cannot learn it only by watching. You have to practice. So here is something you can try. Take your phone. Speak for 5 minutes every day. Don't worry about mistakes. Don't try to be perfect. Just speak. Then listen again. Not to criticize yourself, but to understand yourself. And slowly, day by day, you will see a change. Not suddenly, but clearly, because the goal is not perfect English. The goal is real communication. And that starts with one simple habit. Speak and listen to yourself. Now, I want to give you something clear and practical, something you can start tonight. Not just ideas, but a real plan. And I will tell you honestly how it will feel, because this is how people really learn. For the first 10 days, every morning, spend 10 minutes speaking English. Not sometimes, every day. Find a quiet place. You don't need anything special. Just stand there and talk. Talk about your day, your plans, or how you feel. For example, you can say, I woke up at 7. I feel a little tired today. I have a lot of work. I hope I can finish it. That is enough. You don't need big words. You just need to speak. At night, before you sleep, take 2 or 3 minutes to record your voice. Answer a simple question like, what did I do today? Or what made me happy today? Then listen again. Don't stop because you feel shy. Listen until the end. You will hear where you stop, where you don't know a word, or where your sentence is not clear. The next day, you try again. The first few days will feel strange. This is normal. Your voice will sound different. You may not know what to say. After 1 minute, your mind may go blank. You may want to switch to your own language, but don't do that. Stay with English. Even if your sentence is simple, even if you speak slowly, even if you pause in the middle, this is how your brain learns. Think about a child. A child speaks slowly, makes mistakes, but keeps going. That is why they improve. You are doing the same thing. From day 11 to day 20, you start shadowing. This means you listen and repeat. Choose a short video or podcast, not too long, maybe 3 minutes. Listen to one sentence, pause, repeat it. Try to copy the sound, not just the words, but how it sounds. For example, when a speaker says, I want to go home, notice how fast or slow they speak, where they stress the words. Then try to say it the same way. At first, you may feel a bit silly. That is okay. Everyone feels like that. But after a few days, it becomes easier. Shadowing is powerful because it trains your ear and your mouth together. Many learners understand English but cannot speak. Why? Because they only use their brain, not their mouth. Shadowing fixes this. It helps you feel the language, not just understand it. It's like learning a song. You don't just read the lyrics, you sing it. Do this for about 20 minutes every day and still keep your recording habit from the first 10 days. For the last 10 days, you need to speak with another person. This is the hardest part for most people. But this is also the most important part. You don't need a native speaker. You don't need someone perfect. You just need someone who's learning like you. You can find a partner online, join a group, or talk to a friend. Speak English for 15 to 20 minutes every day. Don't prepare too much. Don't try to be perfect. Just talk. Ask simple questions like, what did you do today? Or what do you like to do on weekends? You will make mistakes. That is normal. Sometimes you will laugh. That is good. It means you're relaxed. In real life, this is how people improve. Not by studying alone, but by using the language. Think about people who move to another country. At first, they struggle, but after a few months, they speak better. Why? Because they use the language every day. You are creating the same situation for yourself. After 30 days, something will change. Speaking will not feel as difficult as before. You may still make mistakes, but you will not be as afraid. Your sentences will come faster. Your mind will not stop as much. It will feel more natural. Not perfect, but comfortable. And that feeling is very important. Because when something feels familiar, you will continue. And when you continue, you improve. After these 30 days, you may ask, why does this method work? The answer is simple. Because you are not just learning English in your head. You are using it with your mouth, your ears, and your daily life. In the first 10 days, you train yourself to think in English. You stop translating in your mind. You start speaking directly, even with simple words. In the next 10 days, you train your ears and your pronunciation. You learn how real English sounds. Not textbook English, but natural English. And in the final 10 days, you use English with real people. This is the most important step because language is not for studying. It is for communication. Now think about your own experience. Maybe you understand English when you watch videos. Maybe you can read and know many words. But when someone asks you a simple question, like what did you do today? You stop. You think. You feel nervous. And sometimes you don't answer at all. This happens to many people. Not because they're not good at English, but because they don't practice speaking enough. This plan helps you fix that problem step by step. You don't need perfect grammar. You don't need big vocabulary. You just need to speak a little more every day. So don't wait. You don't need to prepare too much. Start small. Tonight, say one simple sentence in English. Tomorrow, say a little more. That is how progress begins. Most people will listen to this and do nothing. But if you are serious about changing your English, you can start now. One day, one sentence, one step at a time. And slowly, your English will become part of your life. Before I share these final ideas, I want you to be honest with yourself. How many times have you wanted to speak English but stayed silent? Not because you didn't know the words, but because you were afraid. If that sounds like you, then this message is for you. I have shared many things with you, but I want to leave you with just 3 simple ideas. Not 10, not 20, just 3. Because 3 is something you can remember and use. The first idea is this. Silence is the only mistake you cannot fix. If you speak and make a mistake, it is okay. You say something wrong, someone corrects you, and you learn. You try again, and you improve. But if you stay silent, nothing happens. You don't learn anything. You don't move forward. Think about your daily life. Maybe you are in a class, or at work, or talking to someone online. You understand the question. You know some words, but you stay quiet. That moment feels safe, but it does not help you grow. So here is something you can do right now. After this, say one sentence in English. It can be very simple. For example, today I am learning English. That is enough. The second idea is about fluency. Fluency is not about how many words you know. It is about how many words you are willing to use. I have seen people who know a lot of vocabulary, but they cannot speak. They are always waiting to be perfect. They are afraid to make mistakes. But I have also seen people with very simple English, and they can communicate well. When they don't know a word, they explain it in another way. For example, if they forget the word umbrella, they say the thing we use when it rains. And people understand. This is real communication. In real life, people don't need perfect English. They need clear ideas. So don't wait until you know everything. Use what you already know. The third idea is about your accent. Many people worry about how they sound. They think, my English is not good because my accent is not like a native speaker. But this is not true. Your accent is not a problem. It is part of who you are. When I speak English, I also have my own accent. But that has never stopped me from sharing my ideas. People listen to the message, not the accent. In real life, you will meet people from many countries. Everyone speaks differently. That is normal. What matters is that you speak clearly and with confidence. So remember these three things. Don't stay silent. Don't wait to be perfect. And don't be afraid of your accent. And there is one more thing I want you to understand. You are not someone who can't speak English. You are someone who is learning to speak. That is a very important difference. Many people tell themselves, I can't speak English, and they stop trying. But the truth is, they just haven't practiced enough yet. Every time you speak, even one simple sentence, you are improving. It may feel small, but it is real progress. Think about your daily life. Maybe you watch English videos and understand a lot. But when it is your turn to speak, you feel nervous and you stay silent. That moment is very important. If you stay silent, nothing changes. But if you try, even with simple words, your brain starts to learn. That is how speaking grows. Not in your head, but through your mouth. Most people will listen to this and feel motivated for a moment and then do nothing. This is the truth. But if you want a different result, you need to take a small action today. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Your English will not improve in silence. It improves when you use it again and again in real situations. Let me tell you something from my own experience. I started with nothing. I built a company step by step. Today, that company serves millions of people. I have spoken at global events in many countries with people from different cultures. And none of that would have happened without English. Not because English is something special, but because it helped me connect with the world. It helped me learn new ideas, meet new people, and see things in a different way. In real life, English is not just a subject. It is a tool. It helps you find better opportunities, better jobs, and better connections. Even something simple, like joining an online meeting or sending a message to someone in another country, becomes possible when you can speak. And I did not learn English in a perfect way. I did not have the best method, and I did not feel ready. I learned by using it. Every day, I try to speak. Sometimes I use the wrong words. Sometimes my grammar was not correct. Many times, I stopped in the middle of a sentence because I did not know what to say next. But I did not stop. I continued. And that is the only reason I improved. If you think about it, this is how we learn everything in life. When a child learns to speak, they don't wait to be perfect. They try, they make mistakes, and they try again. In real life, when you talk to someone in English, you may feel nervous. Maybe your mind goes blank. Maybe you only remember simple words. That is okay. That is part of the process. The problem is not making mistakes. The problem is stopping. So you don't need a perfect plan. You don't need a perfect accent. And you don't need to wait until you feel confident. Confidence comes after action, not before. If you keep waiting for the perfect moment, you will wait forever. There's no perfect time. There's only the moment when you decide to start. Right now, after this, I want you to do something very simple. Say one sentence in English, just one. It can be about anything. For example, today, I am practicing English. Or, I feel a little nervous, but I will try. Say it out loud, not in your head. When you speak out loud, your brain and your mouth start working together. That is how real learning happens. And then tomorrow, do it again. Maybe you say 2 sentences, maybe you talk for 1 minute. It does not need to be perfect. It just needs to happen. This is how your journey begins. Not with something big or complicated, but with something small that you repeat every day. Some days will feel easy. You will have more energy, more ideas, and you will speak more. But some days will feel difficult. You will feel tired. You will not know what to say. You may even feel like giving up. That is normal. Everyone feels that way.